Cappadocia is an ancient district in central Turkey, but the landscape looks like a fairy tale kingdom, with rock chimneys and winding valleys, hidden churches and underground cities. I arrived to the tourist town of Goreme from Konya by bus and checked into one of the cave hotels, in the room for a special off-season price of $15 per night, with 2 radiators, which is important in this freezing winter weather. Goreme is a village of around 2,000 people and had become the tourist capital of Cappadocia. It's generally the best area of Cappadocia to stay in, because it has a huge variety of restaurants, tour shops and cave hotels for all budgets. Many cafes and restaurants showcase the unique landscape of the valleys in Cappadocia. Some are carved into the rock, and others provide fabulous views of the colorful cliffs and fairy chimneys. Cuisine restaurant must be one of the most photographed terraces in Cappadocia. It has beautiful views on the sunset, but also a popular spot to view the balloons in the early morning. It is more expensive than most other restaurants in Goreme. Normally, in places like this, you expect to pay mostly for the view, but the food at certain restaurant is delicious. Winter in Cappadocia runs from November through to March. Since most of the Cappadocia region is over 1,000 meters above sea level, winter in Cappadocia is typically very cold. The average temperature for this month is around 5 degrees, but I was lucky enough to experience -14 the lowest. In these winter months, everything is open. Shops still sell souvenirs, and coffee shops still serve coffee, with delicious Turkish delight and comfy warming up fireplace in the middle. The Goreme Open Air Museum is located within walking distance from the city center of Goreme, and it takes about 15 minutes to walk a bit uphill. It's a rocky settlement area that has hosted an extreme monastery life between 4th and 13th centuries AD, with more than 600 churches made out of the soft rock. In pre-Christian Roman times, Goreme Valley was a burial location with rock-carved tombs. As the Roman Empire Christianized, the burial spaces became Christian in character. Then around 800s, monks formed the small monasteries in the area to pursue the contemplative life. The valley had several advantages for monastic living. Spiritually, the area was considered sacred because previous saints were buried here. Geologically, the surreal desert-like topography created a mystical, spiritual context, a common feature in Byzantine monasteries. And practically, the churches and living spaces was easy to construct. Once Goreme Valley became populated with monks and hermits, like Christians came as pilgrims to receive prayer or behold the holy relic. After a period of extensive Christian usage in the 10th and 11th centuries, Goreme Valley was seemingly abandoned when Seljuk Turks occupied the region. The area became a Turkish village community. Farmers carved holes into the floors to serve the wine presses and ovens. In the early 1900s, the minority population of Greek Christians may have worshipped in some of these churches. In 1924, all Greek Christians in Turkey were relocated to Greece. Now, Goreme National Park and rock sites of Cappadocia on UNESCO World Heritage List, with over 1 million visitors every year. The entrance fee is 150 Turkish lira, which is about $8. No trip to Cappadocia is complete without exploring some of the hikes in the area. This unique landscape of Cappadocia is dotted with many hidden gems, and its surroundings are massive. That stretches for about 5,000 square kilometers. There could be hundreds of trails in the region. Red Valley got its name from the rock formations glowing red and pink during the sunset that we were able to see from the viewpoint of Sit-in restaurant early in this video. Ten million years ago, several volcanoes erupted in the region, covering present-day Cappadocia with lava, forming a layer of 100 to 150 meters of volcanic tuff. With the cold, this layer cracked, and then the rain and wind took care of sculpting over the years the fiery chimneys that are so famous nowadays. The advantage of visiting Cappadocia in winter is less tourists and the prices are lower. For example, hot air balloon ride in summer cost between 200–300 euros, but I booked mine for 55 euros only. We were picked up at 6:30 in the morning. The balloon went up to 1,050 meters high, and the ride took about an hour to enjoy incredible views of the landscape. Cappadocia weather in January is also characterized by snow, but it doesn't stop outdoor lovers from going hiking. The trails will still be open, and the scenery will look even more beautiful under a layer of snow. You have to keep in mind that January is the height of winter in Cappadocia, so the days are short. with only around 9.5 hours of sunlight each day. Pigeon Valley gets its name from the many miniature-sized caves carved into the rock. These were used to house actual pigeons back in the day. Today the pigeons are long gone, but the caves remain. It's one of the best areas to discover on foot. Do you want to indulge yourself? I highly recommend to go to Old Cappadocia restaurant for a traditional dish, pottery kebab. It's warm kebab stew brewing in a clay pot, which is then heated up in a wood fire and filled with lamb or beef, mixed with tomatoes, green pepper, garlic, salt and some chili. It's then sealed in the pot with some dough. Your server will rotate the pot and tap the bottom of it. Only when the pot breaks is the food ready.